Welcome to The Breakdown, your source for deep dives into the trends, strategies, and shifts shaping automotive retail. Today's big story: how dealers are quietly outsmarting their competition. But before we dive in, this episode is brought to you by DealerPay, a dealer specific payment acceptance solution designed to boost productivity and enhance customer retention at your dealership. With over 25 years of experience, DealerPay is a trusted partner for dealerships across the US. Learn more at dealer-pay.com or contact Julie, the CEO of DealerPay, directly at julie@dealer-pay.com. Let's get into it. Today, most dealers use the same tools and technology to get ahead in their markets. But ironically, technology and commoditization are leveling the playing field like never before. Competition is hot and will only get hotter as time goes on. But times like these also create opportunities for operators to stand out in other ways, one of which is their brand. Yes, that non-techie old school word came up time and time again in my conversations with dealers recently, and for good reason. You see, an analysis of over 8 million dealership Google reviews by Wide Whale revealed a harsh truth. Negative reviews mentioning dealership staff are up 20% year over year. And it got me wondering, what are the dealers with incredibly high Google ratings doing differently than those with low ratings? So here's what I learned. First, a highly systematized approach to dealership training is critical at scale. At Walser Automotive, which is 26 stores across Minnesota and Kansas, every new hire begins with a one-day orientation introducing the company's history and core values. Do the right thing, lead by example, and embrace change. After orientation, they move into a paid 3.5-week training program led by 2 in-house trainers. The program dives deep into Walser's sales process, blending guided sessions and role-play exercises to help new hires think critically about customer experiences. The program then culminates in a high-stakes 45-minute final assessment where the new hire must successfully complete a simulated deal with the sales manager stepping in to act as the customer. But get this, training doesn't stop there. The sales team has 30 minutes blocked off their schedules every morning before open to attend a specific training session with one of the sales managers. And since Walser represents a wide variety of brands, sales managers often do side-by-side vehicle comparisons in person, mimicking the real-life choices customers have to make. Now, on top of that, to keep their staff engaged, Walser's director of training, Kristen Baker, told me their training is highly gamified by regularly holding rounds of Jeopardy and Monopoly-style contests. Not to mention the AI tools Walser uses to create mock phone call interactions for the sales team to practice active listening. Think Car Wars, Podium, and Call Review, to name a few. So if the salesperson forgets to answer a question, the AI catches it and prompts the salesperson again. It's a pretty unique view into how many times a real customer would have to repeat themselves in real life. But let's face it, the majority of dealers out there don't have 26 dealerships. And that brings me to point number 2. Even smaller groups are getting creative and doing more with less. Take Brett Sutherland's 4 dealerships in Alabama and Tennessee, for example, where becoming a product expert is non-negotiable. Every employee from the receptionist to the service cashier must complete manufacturer certification before interacting with customers. For example, if a Lexus customer calls in about a new RX, anyone answering the phone should be able to discuss its third row seating option without hesitation. Sounds nice, right? Sure, this approach isn't reinventing the wheel necessarily, but Brett takes training a level deeper. His top sales performers and service advisors are also cross-trained in each other's roles. Overseen by Sutherland's variable ops director, individuals with similar personalities and temperaments are paired up for 90 days for one-on-one shadowing. I haven't heard of many other dealers doing this. But it does make sense if you think about it. It's vital that each employee has the mental agility to wear many different hats, and it's really what customers have come to expect. When someone walks into the dealership, they just want an answer. They don't want to have to start looking where to find that answer. But there are other examples. Take Jean Reidelbach, a brand director at Scott Auto Group to 4 new car franchises in Pennsylvania. She's in a similar boat. For her, it's all about creating a hospitality-first environment that starts with embracing authenticity and using real-time feedback to shape how her team interacts with customers. She doesn't want to deliver perfectly rehearsed interactions, but she wants to make real human connections. And it gets interesting because when she gets negative Google reviews, she actually tries to turn them into opportunities for growth. So naturally, I decided to actually check out her Google reviews for Scott Kia of Springfield and came across a scathing 1-star review. I'll give you a quick snippet. Someone wrote, "I would give 0 stars, horrible service. They never call you back when you have issues with them. My dad has had to do repairs, his brand new car 100 times. It costs more than it's worth," and much more. So this is what they said. They responded, "This is important feedback and we're grateful to receive it. Our whole team is committed to making corrections. We have high expectations for customer care and this is just not the way to do it. Please accept our sincere apology. I understand your frustration points and I value your straightforward review because it allows our service manager to look at the situation and learn where unnecessary friction occurred on our end. It will make us better as a team. And of course, this is the most important part. You can expect a phone call," right? They added that action, which is clearly what the customer wants. But there is a lesson in there. Instead of a canned cut and paste response, Gene tells the customer how the review is actually inspiring meaningful change for specific dealership staff members. And the results speak for themselves. She says about 50% of negative reviewers end up revising the review with more positive sentiment after receiving a personalized phone call. I can also personally attest to this, that when you call a customer that leaves a negative review, there is a very high likelihood that after you take care of their issue, they will revise that review, whether or not you ask them to. So with all that said, this data is enough to get some dealerships to rethink their communication touchpoints entirely. Case in point, video messaging portals. This is another great way of just enhancing communication. Techs are now using them to send customers videos explaining repairs, making approvals faster and easier. And sales team are doing the same, walking customers through their options remotely and personalizing updates with videos of the cars themselves. This leads to customers not left wondering what's going on or feeling out of the loop. Instead, they're part of the process with clear insights into what's happening and why. But at the end of the day, it comes down to one thing, and that brings me to point number 3. Dealership training is an investment in the customer experience. I love this section, so get ready for this one. And that brings me to point number 3. Dealership training is an investment in the customer experience. Just ask Doug Ero, president of Penske Motor Group and president GM of Longo Toyota, the world's largest dealership. I hosted Doug on the CDG podcast earlier this year, and it was truly an incredible podcast. I highly recommend you go listen to it. But if you don't have time, I'm going to sum it up for you right now. For Doug to ensure a top-notch customer experience at his store of, crazy size and volume in California, Longo not only has a Starbucks, a Subway, and a DMV on site, but they have very specific training protocols, which don't cost a lot of money, and I'm going to explain them to you right now. First, no matter the role, technician, valet, receptionist, if a guest is within 10 feet of any employee, they are greeted, welcomed on behalf of Toyota, and asked if they need help anywhere. Second, they utilize a full-time learning and development manager and established Penske College, a training center offering both online and in-person sessions focused on continuing development and refreshing skills. Third, the dealership also created a sales development team led by a manager to train new hires on deal structuring, phone etiquette, lead management, CRM use, and product knowledge. No matter where the new hire is coming from, they have to spend at least 90 days training before they can graduate. Doug also employs staff that is trilingual and even quadlingual so they can truly assist anyone, anywhere. And fun fact, Longo's customer experience even flows down, ready for this, to what toilet paper goes in the bathroom. You better believe Longo isn't a one-ply store. I promise you I asked. So looking ahead, dealers who design every step of the customer experience with a hospitality mindset will win. This means moving beyond the training basics by ensuring that communication is always clear and timely, that every employee can answer a customer's questions without confusion, and that no one leaves the dealership unsure of what's to come next. Remember, competition will only continue to intensify, and customers won't just compare dealerships to each other. They'll measure them against the best experiences they've had in any industry. The dealerships that rise to the occasion are building experiences that will pay dividends for years to come. That's a wrap for this week. If you found this news recap valuable, please share it with at least 3 other people, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us grow and create more content for you. Plus, we'd really love your feedback, and we mean it. That's the only way we can get better. You can email me, Car Dealership Guy, DM me, anonymously, not anonymously, it doesn't matter. You can reach out however you prefer to let us know what you'd like. Quick reminder, if you have any tips for me or our editorial team, you can email us at insights@cardealershipguy.org, or again, send me an anonymous DM on any social platform. We'll put this link in the show notes below as well. See you next week.